Wobble Wobble Tequila, Cha 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 Waikiki, and the home of Dave Lawrence in Hawaii. K-Poi, 105.9, The Big Kahuna, Honolulu's only classic rock.
4:36, it is K-Poi, and Dave Lawrence here doing the Workforce Afternoon. So last week, on Friday, we had the dudes from the Hollywood All-Stars in town. It was really cool. Jimmy Bain on the bass from Rainbow and Dio and stuff. Vinny Appice on the drums from Sabbath and Dio. And they were here, and we were in the room talking, and during part of their interview segment, we were coming out of a commercial break, much like the one we just came out of, and with that same promo at the end of the commercial break. And I wanted to play what was said for somebody who's sitting in the room with me here. This is from last Friday around now, what was said on the air. And so we were hearing the promo for the party that we're doing. August 5th just ran on the air, and I was asking the dudes if anybody knew Yvonne Elliman. And Jimmy, what did you say?
I remember when I lived in London, she was a singer, I think backing singer with Eric Clapton.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Great singer, too.
And you were a fan of hers?
I'm a big fan of her. She's a beautiful lady, too.
Yes, she is.
Oh, my God.
Yvonne, you got fans in the Hollywood All-Stars. She listens. She's a hardcore fan of my show.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Say hi. Hi, Yvonne.
Vinny, you want to say hi to Yvonne?
Hi, Yvonne.
And that's how it went last Friday on the air here, and I welcome to the studio, back again to the studio, the lovely, talented, and vivacious Yvonne Elliman.
Thank you.
Aloha.
Thank you. I had to come and see your hair, man,
Aw.
with this humidity.
How's it doing with the humidity?
you cut it all off.
Yeah, I got a haircut
Yeah, all
recently.
right.
Well, I'm preparing for my party. I wasn't
I'm
going to
so
have you come and me not have a fresh haircut and stuff.
How many people does this place hold?
Well, how many it holds and how many are coming are two different numbers. So we have have you ever been there? It's on
No.
Seaside Avenue between Kalakaua and Kuhio. You know where the old IMAX was?
Yes.
Is across the street. It's like
okay.
Eva on the Eva side of the street. So it has like an outdoor area, really nice, with tiki torches and stuff. And then it's got an indoor area. I mean, I think it probably holds about 100 people or something like that. It's really, really intimate place. And I doubt, Yvonne, they've ever had anybody like you performing.
And you got tickets for this thing?
I've got tickets that I'm giving away. You got to win to get in. And so it's a very special thing. It's very hard. I wish I could just have everyone there because it's free food and prizes all afternoon. And then we're giving away the trip to see Sammy. And
that's great.
Very
That's
special.
Great. Well, I'm excited to play for you.
I'm excited to have you come and play for me. Big mahalo for stopping by a week early so that we can talk about it. And I was going to have Yvonne come by and be on the show tomorrow, but then when we were talking, you said something about a TV appearance. What's the TV thing that's going on?
Oh, yeah.
Let's give that a plug.
Emmy Tomimbang.
Okay.
With Island Moments. She has a show coming on tonight, in fact, 9 o'clock, featuring some of the local, I guess, people made good kind of thing. It's Jason Scott Lee and Jasmine Trias and Dean Wilson, the golfer.
Wow.
And me. And so it should be quite good. She gets well into you, you know. She's kind of like the Barbara Walters of Hawaii, you know, and she kind of digs into the good stuff. And we'll see what she cut out and what she put in there. But
and what channel is that on? Channel?
4. 3. What is it on, honey?
That's giving a good plug for the TV appearance, Yvonne. I like that. People can just scan the dial at 9 if you see Yvonne. That's the channel to stop on.
That's bad.
Is it a sit-down? What kind of, is it just you and this person sitting there talking, or is it like lots of pictures and historical stuff on you?
Yeah, she goes through my life kind of, and she actually thought I was Filipino, you know, because she idolized me, and so she said, that's not Yvonne Elliman, that's Yvonne Elliman.
Oh, wow.
That's what she was definitely proud of the Filipino race, and she thought that I looked very Filipino, which I guess when you get a Hapa person that can take on different races, right? So anyway, we walk around my yard. It's up at my folks' house up in
cool.
Manoa, yeah.
Oh, so it's like an on-location
they split.
thing.
I mean, they didn't want to be around. They didn't want to be on camera at all. So they missed their time. But anyway, it should be good. They're gonna have to tie me down in a chair for me to watch this thing, because I'm like, you know, Clockwork Orange. Did you ever see that?
Yeah.
Where they took toothpicks or pins and they pinned his eyes open.
I did not like that scene.
No, I know, but they're gonna have to do that to me, because I cannot.
You don't like watching yourself
I can't.
on?
It's really hard because you're not looking in the mirror. You're watching yourself be you, and it's very it's an altered state.
I'll say from the radio point of view, it's weird when I see video because I'm used to hearing myself but not watching myself talk. It definitely can throw you off. Well, that's cool. 9 o'clock, and you can rack your brain. And which channel is it on, or what network is it? Well, I really want to watch it myself.
Is it Fox? Who? KHON. It's KHON. What channel is that? Channel 2.
Okay, I'm going to definitely be checking that out.
And we sang too, me and my boyfriend Alan, we sang Can't Find My Way Home.
Do you really? Like the whole thing right on the TV?
I don't know what she cut out, but, she snippets of it. And then I do A Girl from Ipanema with her. She does it with everybody every time she does a show.
How long ago did you film all this stuff?
What, 4 weeks ago or something?
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
And then they have time to put it all together and do what they want. So it's a highly
She's really
produced...
proud of it, so I'm anxious to see what her idea of good is.
Well, I'm anxious to see it too.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave.
Got me all excited about it. So have you heard the new Eric Clapton song?
Which one?
There's his song Revolution. Yvonne, you haven't been listening enough if you haven't heard that. I've been playing it so much.
Well, because Judge Judy comes on when you're on.
You turn me off for Judge Judy. You should have, you know what you need? You need the text on the screen so you can watch and listen.
Exactly.
That's what I do. Eric's got a new tune. He's got a record coming out, and I'm going to play some Eric with you. And I was thinking maybe we do like an Eric Then and Now kind of set.
Yeah, I'd love to hear his new stuff.
Okay, well, how about this? Before we play the current classic, we'll play something vintage from 461 from the original disc. You pick out the song, and we'll play it. You just pick out the one that you want.
Would you do Get Ready?
Is that what you want?
Yeah, I wrote that with Eric.
All right, let's do it. Let's see here. Do. Make sure we've got you. And there's nothing...
It's a little rude. I mean, no. There's no.
There's nothing I need. Yeah.
Just,
As long as the FCC is cool, Yvonne, I'm cool. And this is nicely remastered. You like this package, huh?
I do. Oh, yeah. That's classy stuff.
Deluxe edition. Universal Music. They really know what they're doing. So this is 461 Ocean Boulevard. The song is Get Ready. And you co-wrote it, did you say, with Eric?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Here with Yvonne Elliman on KPOY 105.9 The Big Kahuna. Eric Clapton with the lovely and talented and vivacious Yvonne Elliman on board here on KPOY 105.9, The Big Kahuna, Honolulu's only classic rock. Get ready from 461 Ocean Boulevard. All remastered and stuff, and you co-wrote that with him?
I did. I had those lyrics for something else, and then he quickly wrote. He writes right in the studio, and then we needed a bridge, and so I had to write right then on the spot. It was the toughest thing I've ever had to do because I don't like to write in front of people. I like to just, scribble away for weeks on one line. But he kind of forced it out of me, and then we were in the studio doing it, and then it was just like, wow, I actually co-wrote a song with him. I was blown away. I mean, I couldn't believe I was in it. It was like a dream. Working with Eric Clapton, not only singing with him and stuff, but composing music. And they don't, overdub and punch in and fix things. Oh, so, that was a lot of live? Yeah, everything's live. So that's totally live? Or mostly live? Well, we put the vocals on afterwards. But, yeah. But, I mean, we sing through it when we're doing it, when they're playing it, and then... I don't know, man. It was just, the whole room was just a fog. I mean, it was all very smoky. That's what you said last time from hanging with those dudes. And was he, when they were doing the instrumental stuff, and so let's say the vocals, it wasn't ready to do vocals yet, but they were just going to, Eric and the band were going to just lay down tracks. Would you just hang out while they were doing their stuff? I'd lay underneath the piano or something and just watch from under there. Really? Yeah, or, Man. It was just amazing, and he's the only guy that could play my Martin 12-string, and that's on Let It Grow, I could never get that thing in tune, and he just, he took it and he made it sound great. Yeah. Man, wow, that's so cool to get to be sitting there writing. And how many compositions did you get to write with him all in all? Just that one. That's it? Then one night, he had this song that he loved, and I was going to learn it and get the chords because he didn't know how to play it. So I worked all night on this thing. This was at Shangri-La Studios, Robbie Robertson's place, the band. Oh, yeah. And so I worked on this thing, and then finally I got it together, and I was so excited, and I sat down in front of him. I said, I got it. I learned it. He said, oh, all right. He sat down on the couch, and the rest of the band sat down next to him, and I played this thing, and I was into it, and then he said, you play too effing loud. And I burst into tears, and I had to stop. I mean, I don't think I played guitar for a while after that. I was devastated. I remember you told me that before. Yeah. Did he ever apologize for that? Oh, no. But it was true. I did. I still do.
And what was the last, you worked with him until when? What was the last year, or last?
The middle of 78.
Okay, wow.
And then, If I Can't Have You was coming. Oh, and the most embarrassing thing was Love Me was out.
Okay.
And it was 5 on the charts. And so Robert Stigwood said to Eric, I think she should do the song, don't you think? Instead of Can't Find My Way Home, can she do Love Me? And he said, oh, sure, fine, yeah. I mean, his audience, when they heard me start into this disco kind of like schmoozy thing, I mean, you could hear an audible.
You could hear it, huh?
People started talking and going, what the hell's going on?
Conversation begins.
Yeah, I did it twice, and I mean, I was just red in the face because I was so embarrassed doing the song, in front of those people. It just didn't work, and I said, that's it, I can't do that anymore. And he said, well, I quite agree,
Is that what you do his accent so well. That's exactly what he sounds like, too.
But, yeah, anyway, so it was tough being, one thing in music, and then being in his band, because that's where I was really comfortable, was doing rock and roll, But then they were dressing me in satin pants and sequin tops, and I was having to, and I lost my guitar. They took the guitar away, so I didn't have that anymore, and I became the disco person, and talk about feeling uncomfortable in your skin,
But Eric was willing to allow, he had, it seemed like every rock performer about 78 was willing to at least experiment sort of with those kind of grooves and allow it to pop up into their stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if he ever did anything disco.
No, I don't mean like him, but I mean just to be able to,
I see.
to have an open-minded attitude about performing different stuff and in concert. And
I see. Yeah, I guess I just, maybe I wasn't open-minded enough, and I mean, I accepted it, and I was a very professional person, and I did it wherever I had to go. I did what I needed to do, but I just felt a little bit like I was selling out, kind of, because I wasn't being true to the music that I really loved. I never picked any of those songs, But If I Can't Have You, I've worked it into a blues.
nice.
Because it's a very depressing, it's a suicidal song. This person is ready to take their life, And so I take it way down, and I can get into the lyrics, and I hope to bring that to you at some point.
Like kind of a swampy kind of version of it.
Yeah, it's kind of down and dirty, And,
I like that. Fits right in. So you have not heard this current Eric Clapton, which is not really, and speaking of different kinds of styles of music, this is more of a reggae groove. It's very much a reggae groove when you hear this. I think you'll be impressed with this thing. And you were on his first stab when he did Bob.
Yeah,
You're singing backup.
Yeah. We had Peter Tosh around there, and and so I was surprised I didn't know about reggae really, and I was surprised he was doing that. Everybody was surprised at the content of 461 Ocean Boulevard because he had country tunes in there, and he wasn't playing, his typical, style of the Strat, the Blackie sound.
Sure.
So he was doing a lot of acoustic stuff, and he was taking a risk.
He did.
He did, absolutely.
It's a landmark record
But it
because
was-
of what
yeah.
you just said, the variety that's on it.
Absolutely, yeah. So, and then I think he did one more song with the Jamaican accent, and that was the last time I heard anything like that. So this will be the third thing.
Check out, when you say Jamaican accent, listen to the way he sings this one here. And I have not heard the rest of the record. The record's called Back Home. It's coming out at the end of August. And so I don't know whether it could be, again, like a 461 Ocean Boulevard, a variety of musical styles that he showcases his guitar, craftsmanship through all those different kinds of music. But this first tune, very reggae, and his voice, it really does sound like he's trying to take on some kind of persona from Jamaica.
Cool.
Song is called Revolution. It's a current classic we enjoy now on K-Poi. Current classic, brand new Eric Clapton here, 105.9. The Big Kahuna, Honolulu's only classic rock. The song is Revolution. The album is Back Home. Yvonne Elliman, who used to work with Eric, hanging out in the studio, getting a chance to listen. What do you think of that current classic?
I love that.
Soulful,
I love
huh?
that. That's great.
He's got the chicks working on the backup vocals and stuff.
No, that's nice. That's it's surprising because I didn't think he'd ever go
To there.
with that wide a sound,
Yeah, it is a wide sort of sound.
That's great.
I'm very
Great
curious about the rest of the album.
Me too.
Like
me too.
what's going to be on it. We're going to be getting to traffic moments from now, but there's a great live track. Oh, you know what? Before we do traffic, what's the George Harrison? You were about to tell me something with George Harrison. What's the George Harrison story?
Oh yeah, George. George came and he spent the night at Eric's home in England, and Eric he said, oh, Maureen's in there with him, which was Ringo's ex-wife, and so he said, think of a song quick, and he said, here's a ukulele. So he gave me the ukulele, and he said, think of a song, a Hawaiian song. And I said, we're going to the Hookielau. So I started to play, we're going to the Hookielau, and he went, oh, that's good, that's great, okay, let's go in. So he bursts in the door, George sits up in bed, and Maureen is like freaking out because here we are, and he says, okay, let's start. And he starts to play, oh, we're going to the hooker lounge.
With you.
Hooker lounge. And I look at him because I know that's not the lyrics, but I get what he was doing. He was just embarrassing the chick. And
What was George's reaction?
George was smiling. George.
You got to hang with the one and only.
Hey, me and George sat up all night in Eric's house. All night, because everybody else went to bed, and he taught me an Indian sort of a chant, and we played it on guitar. And we ohmed and for 2.5 hours, something like that. Just kept just chanting the same thing. It was nuts.
When is that the same at the same time frame?
What do you mean?
Like
Yeah,
at
it was
the
in that
same
time.
night, the same time?
No, it was a different time.
Like what was the era that you got to spend all night hanging out with George Harrison?
It was like 1977, around there, because I remember it was after the European tour, and George just he came. He loved Eric. They loved each other. He just, Eric was with Patty, which was George's ex-wife.
Yeah.
And so it was one big happy family, and George was so cool. He was the mellowest, most peaceful guy.
You do Pakalolo with George?
Oh yeah, that and the other naughty stuff. But that's just, we're up all night, hint, hint.
Oh man.
No, we just wow, I went into another person. It was like I was looking at my body, and here I was with George Harrison just singing some Indian stuff, and
Tales of hanging with George Harrison that you'd only get from
but I
Yvonne.
can't remember how he ended it,
That's very good stuff. I'm going to play a George tune, and then we'll come back and we'll grab some traffic. How's My Sweet Lord sound?
Love it.
Awesome. K-Poi. George Harrison, sounding so good. KPOI Honolulu 105.9, The Big Kahuna, My Sweet Lord, Yvonne Elliman, still in the studio after telling that outrageous story with George Harrison. Some cool stuff. I don't know a whole lot of people, Yvonne, who've gotten to hang out with George all night and talk story and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
No, that was magical, indeed.
That is magical. All right, we have traffic here real quick, Yvonne. Let's take a listen to what's going on.
Okay.
Traffic news you can use.
Traffic brought to us by Combine Metals at Restaurant Road. Dave, what's happening, dude?
Good afternoon. Traffic still slowing in Center. I'm Dave Estock on the Workforce Afternoon with Dave Lawrence.
You are the man, Brother Dave, and Dave's brought to us by who?
This traffic report is brought to you by Kamaina Metals at Restaurant Row. Need fast cash? Call Kamaina Metals now at 526-1502.
Thank you, Kamaina Metals and Yvonne, for doing a lovely job with my traffic. So I was going to play another tune from 461 Ocean Boulevard, and I thought we'd turn our attention to Disc 2 and something live. And what was it, when you first joined Eric's band, was Badge a part of the set list? Was he moving tunes around through the years?
Yeah. I remember doing a few things from Derek and the Dominoes in the beginning, because that was the last thing he'd done before, And then little by little, he'd work some songs, and he'd see what worked and what the people liked. And he threw in Badge one night, and there was no rehearsing this. I mean, he just would start it, and we were expected to just come in or just improvise, which was great. I loved that. And so I found a harmony part and put it in there. And then at the end, after he goes to the dar, which everybody was waiting for, they were just huge, like, the thing would just blow the roof off of the place. And so he'd do that for about 20 minutes. And then in the end, he just started to sing, "Where is my badge? Where is my badge?" And so we were singing that along, too, not knowing what we were singing about or what it meant. And then the audience is singing along, too. And I thought, well, where is my badge? I mean, it was like... What badge? I just didn't know. And you never did know. And you didn't ask him either what the hell that meant,
Oh, you didn't?
No. No, because you didn't want to look like you didn't know.
Right. I get it.
You know, he was a very astute guy, and so we just all pretended to know.
That's a great version that they have on
Yeah.
this on the 461 Ocean Boulevard Deluxe Edition. This is recorded at the Hammersmith Odeon in London. I have to introduce you to Penelope Swallows. Have you ever heard the British girl that we have on the air here?
Yes.
She's here in the building. I got
Oh, lovely, yeah.
She has a nice voice. You like
Yes,
her?
she does.
You got to meet her. She's from there. Okay, we'll play a song here. This is Badge, a tasty version of it, perfect as you're driving home or wherever you are. And 1974 in London, Hammersmith Odeon. And we enjoy it now in Yvonne's presence on Cape Way. Eric Clapton, 461 Ocean Boulevard here, KPOI 105.9, The Big Kahuna, Honolulu's only classic rock, Motherless Children. We had Badge live right before it, and from the same disc, from the same 2 CD set, and disc 2, which was Hammersmith Odeon, London, 1974. Yvonne Elliman singing her heart out on that, and that was sat in the vaults for all those years, huh, Yvonne?
Yeah.
They did not need. Do you have copies of that before it came out, or? This was when this came out the first time you had heard it?
You know, the sound guy, he would tape every show, and then afterwards he would make copies for us. And so he'd give us the cassettes so that we could hear what the show was.
Okay.
And so I had just boxes of these cassettes. And I don't know what I did with them.
Oh, I was going to...
Because I know...
Tantalizing here. Like boxes of Eric
Yeah,
Clapton
because
cassettes.
it's the stuff, it's the live stuff.
Yeah.
That's really worth a lot these days, and I can't put my fingers on one.
You don't know where that box is?
No, but I bet Jamie Oldacre, the drummer, I bet he's got it somewhere tucked away.
If you ever find that box, you gotta give me a buzz.
You bet.
I was going to play some Alice Cooper. We have the Alice Cooper show at night now here, and Yvonne used to have, who was the guy, Shep?
Yeah, Shep Gordon was our manager, Alice was his baby, I mean. He took him. And, I was with Shep for a few years, and so I would go into the offices, Alive Enterprises, and there was Alice, and there was his big old snake. This thing was huge, the boa constrictor.
You got to hold the snake,
yeah,
right?
I think the name was Angel. I think it was a albino, and they would put it around my neck, and it would constrict, and it was the most sensuous thing. And the way they loved this snake, it was just, I mean, they all hands on it all the time, just stroking it. It was great.
That's a little weird, actually, the way you're describing it.
Well, it had one little pot of water that it had to get its whole body into, so it would just slither through it, and
Wow.
it was amazing. Just the motion of the thing was mesmerizing.
You got to hold and play with Alice's snake, basically.
Yeah.
For real, I mean.
Yeah.
More than one time?
Yeah, then we did an unplugged thing with him and me and Manhattan Transfer, and yeah, where he just, with a guitar, he was singing. I mean, without the makeup and stuff, and I just thought, well, this guy is just an ordinary dude.
Totally.
Yeah, and nice, and just really, really low key and soft spoken, and
He's a sweetie. The one time
really.
I was around him, that's what he was. He was so cool, so down to earth, so kind, so giving and gentle.
Yeah, he's a
and
kind person.
Very
He is.
kind. Man, he was dynamite. Well, let's throw down one of his tunes in his honor. I didn't know you got to do an unplug. Do you have a tape? Are you doing the unplugged thing with him, or?
No, I don't know what we did that for.
We need to find your old tapes, Yvonne. It's a
Need to
tease
find
here
my old
about
brain.
$1 billion babies. Alice Cooper, K-Boy. Alice, $1 billion babies, 105.9, The Big Kahuna, Honolulu's only classic rock. We throw that out for Yvonne Elliman, who's still in the studio. Yvonne got to hold the snake. Angel, you said his name
Angel,
was.
yeah.
That
I
is
hope I
very
remember
cool.
him correctly. But yeah, it was a trip. And I think Alice, wherever you are, does he live on Maui now or what?
He comes out here. He's on the midst of this. He does his tour he does his show from the road. He's on tour right now. So believe it or not, he sends his tracks back, in some kind of electronic method he's currently in Spain tonight. He's in Barcelona.
Wow. Is he still doing the whole makeup thing in it?
I think he still does. I'm going to have him on the show soon because they have a new Alice record coming out, and I'm going to get him on the show. And that's a good question, whether he still, maintains the full theatrics.
Yeah. I think that's great to have that other persona.
Yeah, no, and then we'll tap into him and see. And I'll bring you up, too, during that interview. I'm going to play one of Yvonne's favorite tunes from CSNY, and then we're going to talk to Dave and get some traffic. How's Carry On sound?
I love that song. Oh.
Awesome. Throwing it out for you. 105.9 The Big Kahuna. Traffic is next. CSNY special request for the lovely, talented, and vivacious Yvonne Elliman here in the studio with me, K-Poi 105.9, the Big Kahuna. You like that stuff?
Absolutely. I love that. I love them.
That was a
Great.
really good, a
Memories,
good tune.
boy, memories.
Hey, Yvonne, you still have my traffic sponsorship over there?
I
You
do.
What is, we're about to do a report.
This traffic report is brought to you by Ina Metals at Restaurant Row. Need fast cash? Call Ina Metals now at 526-1502.
All right, let's hear Dave do it. Thank you.
Traffic news you can use.
Brother Dave.
Good afternoon. No stalls or actions.
You are the man, Brother Dave, and Brother Dave's going to be at the big party, Yvonne.
I look forward to meeting him.
You will get to meet him. And one more plug for the, can you read that one more time?
Yes, this traffic report was brought to you by Ina Metals at Restaurant Row. Do you need fast cash? Well, call Ina Metals now at 526-1502.
You are the
And where's
best.
my cheesecake?
Oh, yeah, the cheesecake. And we got to thank Taste of New York, Deli and Market. They brought by tasty cheesecake for you.
Yeah, it's that time of day, you know.
And, well, you are going to have that, and that is just one of the gifts. I got her a nice midnight tie-dye.
Yeah, really.
You like
Thank
your
so
tie-dye?
much. Lavished with gifts.
You're totally
I
worthy
love
of
it.
it.
I love emeralds too.
Oh, okay. I will keep that in mind. Maybe at the party. You never know. I really do appreciate you being willing to sing a couple tunes for my listeners. These are going to be the people. These people had to answer like Dave trivia questions and stuff on the air, so they went through hoops to get passes to the party.
Wow.
And it's a
Then they
private
deserve
event.
'em,
Yeah, they deserve it, and they're real hardcore fans, and they're the people who really made my first 3 years here happen. So
That's cool. Hey,
it's-
congratulations, man. You did
Thank
good.
you. Thank you
did
very
really
much.
good.
Am I still your favorite DJ?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Love it. Just checking. Got to make sure. I'm going to I have a few messages, and then we're going to play a tune. Yvonne's going to be heading out, and you're going to hear from Yvonne a day and a week from now on Friday the 5th at Cha Cha Cha. But we will leave with a tune, a cover that is found on this 461 Ocean Boulevard disc 2. There's so much great live music on this second disc. And I thought we'd do Eric's take on a Jimmy number after some messages. Is that a cool way?
That's
a cool
real
finale?
way. Yeah, and watch tonight, 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Channel 2.
Channel 2,
There
we
you go.
determined. Thank you
Yeah.
for reminding me of your plug. I would have spaced on that. Yvonne's on TV. They're going to have a little expose on Yvonne on the tube. Thanks again for coming down.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. It's 105.9.
Do you need cash?
Aloha. This is Yvonne Elliman, and I'm listening to my favorite DJ in the whole wide world, Mr. Dave Lawrence. And I just realized what time it is. It's 4:20.